basically me fighting a mini dust storm. At first glance, there was no way to even tell what kind of power supply this thing had. The dust was that thick. But after digging through the grime, jackpot. A 450-watt unit from Sigmatech. As for the two hard drives, I couldn't even make out what they were until everything got a proper cleaning, so we'll circle back to those in a bit. Fast forward 3 hours of scrubbing and an entire day waiting for the motherboard to come back from the hospital. And this PC has officially had its full-on spa treatment. Fresh, clean, and finally looking alive again. Those two mystery drives? Turns out they're a 128GB SSD and a 500GB HDD. Nice to know, but I won't be using them. Instead, I'll plug in a drive that already has Windows and a few games loaded so we can jump straight into testing. Let's kick things off with Fortnite, a game loaded with detailed effects and physics to really push this ancient CPU to its limits. Now, this CPU isn't exactly a power-hungry beast. It only draws around 25 to 29 watts, but just because it's energy efficient doesn't mean it's high-performing. Right from the start, as soon as the game loads, the CPU is maxed out at 100% usage, and the temperature is sitting steady at 58 degrees Celsius. Even on low settings in the lobby, FPS never breaks 30, so we're already looking at a tough time when we actually drop into the game. But then, something surprising happens during the load screen. FPS spikes over 100 for a second. Maybe there's hope after all, right? Well, nope. The minute we're in the game, as we're gliding down and the scenery starts loading, the FPS drops back down to around 20 to 26 FPS, and things get pretty rough. You can see stuttering and frame drops constantly, and the gameplay is basically a slideshow. It's honestly a pretty terrible experience. But somehow, with just 19 frames per second, I managed to take down an opponent. Go figure, right? You really can't count this system out completely. Somehow, it's still managing to get the job done, even if it's not pretty. Alright, I think we've bullied this poor CPU enough. It's time to move on to the fun part, upgrades. The good news is, this system actually has a lot of room to grow. From the processor to the 4 RAM slots and of course the GPU, there's plenty of potential here. The first upgrade on the list is the CPU. I went with an i5-4690, a chip that launched back in Q2 of 2014. The very same year as the sad little G3240 we just retired. But this one is a whole different beast. 4 cores, 4 threads, base clock at 3.5 GHz, and it can boost up to 3.9 GHz. Back when it was brand new, it sold for around $213. Fast forward more than a decade later, and now you can snag one on eBay for about 23 bucks. That's literally